Shalom, shalom, Yahshua. Want to start off first things first, and all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakadash, which in the Petty Hebrew tongue is created in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to you sister brothers that's laboring in this truth, and shalom to you brothers and sisters that's listening and studying to show yourselves approved. Shalom. Hey, this if you need something to watch, Yahshua, a very, very spiritual show is on Netflix right now. It's called Supacell. Man, very, very spiritual, very spiritual show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's got a lot of Jake flavor to it. And I'm going to do a quick little overview on it. If you don't want no spoilers, I recommend, to not watch this and come back to it. But I'm going to just do an overview of it to tell you primarily what it's about, which... Hey, the cat is out the bag, man. This whole show is about Jake and spiritual power, and like you can just feel the whole mojo is turning towards Jake. Now it was directed by Jake. What you see on your left is his name is Rap Man, and then the actor on your right is the lead character in the show. He leads the group. So the show is about a group of Israelites who have spiritual power. They get the spiritual power through, they blood. That's why it's called Supacell, because they try to base it on sickle cell. So like their parents had sickle cell, Esau's experimenting on their parents, and it passed down to them, and then they got powers, which we know to be spiritual powers. And, what I loved about the show is it's got a lot of Jake flavor to it. I mean, a lot of Jake flavor, man. The show is based in London, so you hear Jake talk with that accent. You see we got a lot of Jakes in London. It's a show we scattered all over the world, and it's got like Jake problems, issues, and it's a real good show to watch. One of the best shows I've seen come out on TV in a long time, and I thoroughly enjoyed it because it was so spiritual, man. I mean, very spiritual. Now you got to spit the bones out. He ain't gonna give you everything, because it's on Esau's network, but directed by Jake. And what I liked about it too, you don't see no alphabet agenda. It's just straight, action and drama. And, man, you can really relate to it because it's a lot of Jake problems. You'll see the curses, Jake going through financial troubles. You'll see Jake dealing with family that want to act a fool. And, man, good drama that we can relate to is in the show. And then what I loved about it is that it shows spiritual power. And it shows Esau, because it's Jake versus Esau. That's the whole dynamic of the show. It's about Jake versus Esau. And Esau has the system, but he doesn't have the powers. And you see him watching on the cameras and, always trying to, box Jake in. But it's hard for him because Jake got powers, And then in the show, too, you'll see Jake versus Jake. You'll see the two-thirds. The two-thirds versus the hopeful elect. Because Esau has certain Jakes with spiritual power that work for him. So you'll see the two-third dynamic in there as well. I mean, it covers a lot. And I just like seeing it, man. Remind me of my favorite shows when I was a child, when I used to watch X-Men. It reminded me of that. But except it's all Jake. You just see our people, man, in the show just looking beautiful, man. I mean, I see why Esau is so jealous of us when you look at the show. Because most of the cast is Jake. And you'll see most of, when I say Jake, that's short for Jacob, Israelites. And, Yahshua is Paleo Hebrew for Israel. So you see our people primarily in the show just looking good, man. It was a very good display of Yahshua, and it was flexing something very spiritual that's about to happen real soon, especially when, he wants to sick his military on us. So we'll start out. Let's get to scriptures. And I'm just running through everything I've seen in the show through the scriptures. So this is Psalms 110. And 2, and it says, the Lord shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion. Rule thou in the midst of thy enemies. Verse 3, thy people shall be willing the day of thy power, and the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning that has the dew of thy youth. So that's why we're going to get that strength to overtake Esau is through the spiritual power. And the only thing I didn't like about the show, like once we get the spiritual power, we're going to totally dominate Esau. But to make the show good, that show using his military and using other Jakes to kind of, create that good drama and dynamic and action. But you're going to look at the powers these Jakes going to get. Especially like one of the head Jakes, man. He gets a godlike power. Like I'm like, ain't nowhere in the world they be able to do anything with him based on that power he got. I'm gonna just let you watch it to see what power he got, but it's God level, like woo. Yeah, that's your Howard Shaw level type of power. You're gonna see Jakes have super speed. You're gonna see Jakes have super strength. You're gonna see Jakes have like telekinesis, flight, which is all in the scriptures. Let's go get it. That's what you're gonna see on display. I like that it's talk about racial issues in the show. You're gonna see Esau not accept Jake because he considers Jake a mixed breed. You know, so he don't like him because you use one Jake that has a Israelite father but an Edomite mother. You see the dynamic between them, and you know she get a new husband that got some money, and she doesn't like Jake. He doesn't like Jake, so she can't accept Jake. And I like to have to show that dynamic. You know, and like right here, we go to this right here because you're gonna see that this is Isaiah 40 and 31. But they, matter of fact, I'm gonna start at 29. Isaiah 40 and 29. He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might, he increaseth strength. Right. None of them had powers. We don't have powers, man. That's why Esau dominated us. But once we get these powers, man, hey, it's gonna be what we say. We're gonna enforce the laws and commandments of Yahweh Shah on all these other heathen nations. So verse 30 says, even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young man shall utterly fall. Verse 31, but they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. You're going to see Jake flying. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. You're going to see Jake with super speed. I'm trying to think what other powers you're going to see on display. You're going to see lightning, fire, the ability to turn invisible. You're going to see all those type of powers, and then you're going to see how Jake deals with that throughout their daily life. And I like, too, he put the gang aspect in there. You're going to see gangs, or you're going to see drug dealing. You're going to see everything that Jake deal with in a normal day-to life, and then once their power is activated, how it impacts their lives. That's what I like when I seen that. And it was just amazing to, it was just a good show, man. I mean, it was dripping with Drake flavor. That's why I don't think, because like everybody wants to see a season 2, because we all liked it. Everyone's seeing the reviews for it. It's only like 6 episodes, and it leaves you, wanting more. I don't see them greenlighting another one because it was just so good, man. It was just Jake looking good, and I'm pretty sure they pissed Esau off like, hell nah, we ain't letting you make another one. I'm pretty sure they butt hurt over that one. So you're gonna see these type of powers, and I'm gonna go get this one too. As I said, that one Jake, he has a godlike power, and he's like the leader of a crew, because it's a group of them. So this is Psalms 82 and 6. It says, I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. So when Jake get these abilities, man, they gonna call us Lord again. When Jake get these godlike abilities, they're not gonna treat us like everyday normal people. We poor right now. We ain't got no strength. We ain't got no institution. But once Jake started displaying this spiritual power, that's how the nation's gonna know that the Most High is dealing with us. That's when Yahweh Shah is going to get his name to be praised. Because we're going to be praising that name as we displaying these powers. And we're going to put it on these heathens. And then they going to know like, oh, yeah, them children of the Lord right there. Those are children of Israel right there. Because, man, these powers, you're not going to be normal, man. If you can fly and shoot lightning out your hands and got super strength and move fat, man, that's not every day. That's not normal. See, that's when we're going to get the respect of our women again. That's when everybody these heathen nations going to bow down like, yes, Yasharallah. When that gets put on display. Because just showing on the show, man, when Jake put that power on, man, it changed their lives. And Jake was just like, oh, shoot, they was wild by it. And he was like trying to, talk to get his system going, trying to get everything under control, keep it under wraps. You'll see that. Esau scrambling, using his surveillance system. That's what I like, too. It shows Esau using Big Brother, probably using his AI. He had the camera system. He kept Jake on the surveillance system. And he always kept a watch on Jake. And he always tried to cover up the evidence of spiritual power so, the rest of the nation wouldn't see it. That's what Esau was always on. You'll see the Edomites talk, and they talk that slick talk too. They show Esau in all his glory. They show him in that pompous spirit. Oh, another thing you're going to see in the show. You're going to see Jake in captivity. They got laboratories, which flexes like a camp. When they catch a Jake, for their powers to get like, really activated, or they about to get activated, they'll snatch Jake up and put him in a facility and experiment on him and get in there talking that pompous, that, they talk like they God or something. You gonna see that. He gonna be talking that big boy talk, man. I'm like, let us get that type of power. Nah, it ain't gonna go down like that. So Esau was experimenting on the Jakes, because that's how they showed the powers manifested. It was in their blood, because we're Israelites by blood. We're not because we studied. No, we are blood descendants of the people that came out of Egypt. And I like how they showed that dynamic in the show, because they got the powers based on their blood from their parents, and E was trying to keep everything under wraps, and he was experimenting. And they showed, the Edomites who run the corporation talking that pompous, like talking like they high and mighty or something. And how they did it, they would use other Jakes with spiritual powers to keep the other Jakes in check, because they couldn't fight the Jakes with the power. So they like fight fire with fire. And they'll like promise Jake money, pretty much what we're dealing with now. Deal with Jake's situation, and they recruit Jakes to be in their organization to go hunt down the other Jakes. That's how, the dynamic ran in the show. And it's like a lot of good drama, man. You'll see a lot of things we're dealing with, like I said earlier, from dealing with the street stuff, family members, trying to keep relationships together. You'll see Jake trying to have a relationship with his son, and see how the world, is playing on that. There's a bunch of Jake problems, like a show made by us for us. That's what I liked about it. I can totally relate to that show. And I was like, man, that's so biblical. It's so spiritual. And that's what's about to happen. We're about to get that spiritual power. And it's going to manifest itself. So what do I want to go get? I want to go get, matter of fact, we'll go get it. Because E used his military to kind of, recruit and all of that. But when he had to go against Jake with a spiritual power, he had to use other Jakes. So I want to go get, where's Isaiah at? And how they get them, they come with them overwhelming numbers, which is so spiritual too. Which I'm going to get Isaiah 59:19. It says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. So the standard gonna get lifted up when Esau coming with his military, and it ain't gonna go like the show in real life, man. We're gonna run through them like a hot knife through butter. The show had to create that drama to make it, they had to struggle, but we're not gonna struggle when we get that spiritual power, when that standard gets lifted, and we're gonna need that. And I'm gonna go to verse 20. It says, and the Redeemer should come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression, and Jacob said, the Lord. So we're gonna, unlike in the show, we're gonna get our power based on Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. Not based on some lab experimentation. No, this is all through the Spirit. That's why we call it spiritual power. So that's how we're going to get it. We're going to get it through the Redeemer of Zion, which is Yahweh Shah. He's going to hand out that power, in the time when we really need it. When we cry out to the Lord, when this devil comes in like a flood, he's going to lift that standard up. Like I said, if you got a brother that can go invisible, you know how big that is? And I like how they showed Jake, man. He got busy when he turned invisible with that power. He was a problem. Even the one that had super speed, he was a problem. Like Jake was a problem for Esau. They was giving Esau all he can handle. I wanted to think, what was I gonna say? What else I was gonna bring another precept out to show. Matter of fact, yeah, I know what I was gonna bring out. Let's go to Jeremiah. This is why we're gonna get the spiritual power. Because that's to subdue the nations. Like you're gonna see it, like we hear about examples in the Bible about spiritual power. When you look at Samson, he had super strength. You're gonna see that in the show. You're gonna see a brother that had super strength. He was strong. He was folding stuff up. And here go Jeremiah 51:20 says, thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy the kingdoms. So the spiritual power is coming so we can establish the kingdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. Once them ICBM missiles blow everything Esau got up, You know, we're going to need the power to reestablish ourselves as a nation here on earth. You know, brothers probably going to get power to make things grow, revitalize the earth. Like, ain't no telling how many gifts we're going to get. You know, it's going to be just a beautiful thing to see it. And this show was like a small representation of that on a very small level. You know, but it was a very good show, man. Nice action. I like the pacing of it. The drama will keep you involved, but it wasn't no action. And it does a lot of build up too. A lot of build up things. You'll see things you'll be like, man, he better not do that. Oh my Lord, is he really doing that? That's what I said to myself when I was watching. Like, Jake, don't do that. You know, so they do a good job with the writing was good. You know, that dude that wrote this show did a good job on the writing. The writing was real good because you'll see Jake just keep getting into problems. And it be Jake problems. It be stuff we deal with, you know, in our daily lives. Because a lot of them need some money. And they be, you go get your powers, man. You're going to do things to, get what you need. Ain't like you're going to be this. Like I said, the show's a small representation of it. When we get our powers, man, we're going to be really off the chain. They tried to somewhat live within Esau society with the powers. I'm like, nah, it ain't going to go down like that. We're going to be flexing them powers in a major way. You know, but it's just good to see that in the show when they showed it, Jake using it for his benefit in Esau's wicked kingdom. Because Esau's acting a plumb fool in this show, man. He was really oppressing the children of Israel. And once they got their abilities, man, they like, shoot, I'm about to do this to make my life better. And I liked it, man. I really liked the show. Too bad. I don't believe we're going to get a season 2. I think this kingdom about to be destroyed. I don't think Esau going to green light a season 2. This based on people raving about it. It got good reviews. It's a good show. And they know we want to see a season 2. So Esau like, heck now. Because we look too good. We look too good doing it, man. The women in the show looked good. I bet if you Righteous Sisters watch the show, y'all probably like some of the dudes in the show. Jake just looks good. Jake just looks good, acts good. Everybody did a good job acting. Everybody did a standout job. The writing was good. They actually had a good budget. You know, the special effects ain't just really bad. It ain't just really cheap. Cool little special effects. And it was a good show. I highly recommend everybody in the nation of Israel to watch that, if you're looking for something spiritual to watch. And it'll keep you entertained because it got some good drama to it, for the women. It's got a lot of drama. People dealing with issues. One Jake, I think his mother was real sick. And it shows Esau being a physician of no value. And you found out, oh, y'all experimenting on my mama, Jake about to turn up. We find out the wickedness that Esau been doing. So I don't want to just ruin too much of it. I just tell you to go watch it and just, man, look, this ponder on that spiritual power we about to get. Because it's coming soon. It is no coincidence a show like this came out at this time when all this craziness has happened. So I believe the Spirit of the Lord made this come out so that hopefully they can see it. And, because I love watching spiritual power things and lessons on spiritual power. And it had me on the edge of my seat watching this show. I was like, man, then when it ended, I was like, I want more. I was like, that's it. We need more. They should have made at least 10 episodes. They made 6. I think they're like an hour long. And I watched the whole show, I think, in like 1 day or 2 days. I've been watched it. And it's real good. I highly recommend you to watch it if you need something to watch because a lot of stuff don't come out good. And it was good to see something without no alphabet agenda. The straight Jake through and through. Jake flavored, dripping with Jake and spiritual power. Very spiritual. You're going to see a lot of precepts run through your head as you watch this show because Esau is being Esau on the show. So with that being said, I hope this is edifying. You can go on the comment board if you watch the show. Let me know what you think of it. And, enjoy Yasharallah. And, hey, stay locked in because Yahweh Shah's quickly on the way. He going to hand out that spiritual power. And we going to, we're going to get busy on him, Yasharallah. When that spiritual power come, hey, as a matter of fact, we'll end off with something else because it just hit my spirit. It just hit my spirit. There you go. And we'll go with 2nd Esdras 16:73. It says, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they should be tried as gold in the fire. And how you going to know we those chosen? When that spiritual power was dripping on us. When we flexing that spiritual power, then the heathen nations going to know who Yahushua is dealing with. So with that being said, hope this is edifying. I want to say shalom.